Okay. So we are all logging into 3DU now and coming into the Spanish classroom. Muchas gracias for having a seat right away when you come in. That's exactly what I'd like to see. Looks like there are a couple students that I'm not sure where they're coming from. My computer is... yes, it's because I'm seated. All right, I'm going to stand up. Gracias, bienvenida a la clase de español. We'll just wait till everybody can come in and load up their 3DU and have a seat. Yeah, that's totally fine, Brianna. She says it takes a while to load everything. If you can, before class, try loading up 3DU, just so we have that extra time that it takes to load for class time instead, if you are able to. Great, so everybody should be having a seat, por favor. And then when you have a seat, I'd love you to please zoom into the PowerPoint and we can look at some words. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, siete, ocho. Who am I missing? All right, boys and girls, so if you see in the chat box, there are some students that aren't in our class that are chatting in the box. I'm not sure if they have the option to stop chatting because it doesn't look like they're in the classroom, but they are probably somewhere in Spanish world. So we may just have to overlook that as a distraction. Now, do you think you're able to do that? And if you're able to overlook their chatting as a distraction, can you type in C in the chat box? Great, Colton, gracias. Yeah, so it'll be, they might stop talking, but I don't really want to tell them to stop chatting because they may be somewhere in Spanish worlds communicating and socializing that way. So let's see how we can do this. And if it gets too distracting, boys and girls, you could just close off your chat screen and then reopen if I were to ask you. Awesome. Gracias, Brianna. Gracias, Zeke. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to go over a few Christmas vocabulary words, and then I'm going to ask you to share some of your own Christmas traditions. If you don't have your Christmas traditions out, now is a great time to get them out so you have them beside you or on your desktop on your computer. And I want you to read some out in a little while once we go through a couple more words, okay?
Hi, this is NCAR.
Hola, Scott.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you real quick. I got in the middle of what you were talking about, other people chatting.
Yes.
One thing that we could do to not allow chatting to overlap is sometimes students forget and they've gone down to where it says chat to, I think it said chat to, or talk to. That's what it is called, talk to.
Right.
And if you choose global in that little menu, you can either choose local or global. If you choose global and you chat, your chat will be broadcast all across the world. As far as whoever's in there, they're going to see your chat. So it's best to always choose local, especially in a world where you're doing your lessons, like in HC French. And then that way only your chat will only go about 200 meters out.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
So,
one thing. Just I thought I would just throw in there. That may or may not fix what you're talking about, but that will keep your own chat from going too far.
right, that's some good advice. So it says talk to in the chat bar, and we should always click local chat. And then it also says beside it, listen to. And then I have my global chat ticked off. There's a check mark in mine. So do you think I should uncheck mine so I'm not hearing global chat?
You could do that. You could do that. Just remember that if you get more than 200 meters away from somebody chatting, you'll no longer be able to see their chat
Oh, I see. So
if
it
you
might
go
be
that
good.
far away. Yeah,
It
but
looks
that's
like some of the
as
other
long as you're
students
in
are also.
class. If you're in class, everybody's within 200 meters of each other. So
Yes, that's right. Awesome. Well, Scott, we have an option for, since you're on Zoom with us already, if you'd like to show the kids now, and then we could even do a little lesson after if we have time.
I
Um,
would suggest that if you've got something you need to talk about in class, go ahead and do that first,
okay.
because showing how to build and looking for lots tends to kind of it doesn't just stop, it tapers off, and it might run over. So you're probably best to go ahead and get in what you want to get in today, and then we'll do that last.
Okay, that sounds good. So yeah, it should be about 10 or 15 minutes of, we'll look at this PowerPoint here, and then if you want to come in
Sure,
then, that would be wonderful.
no worries. I'll just stand by. That's okay.
Okay,
I'm
thanks so
used to
much.
it.
Okay. So Faith says when you read your Christmas poster, you might say the words wrong, and that's totally okay. Your Christmas traditions are something that it's kind of like a challenge. You're writing them out, and then I'm gonna be here to help you speak them out if you're not sure. So I don't expect that you know exactly how to pronounce everything because you're just learning. So no worries for that. We'll just do our best. So let's go ahead and scroll in on our PowerPoint. And we can get started. So please, everybody, if you'd follow along, that would be wonderful. Okay, so let's review and add to your vocabulario de Navidad, so your Christmas vocabulary. We're going to add a few words to what we already have learned. Then we're going to learn all about house objects and rooms. And you're also going to learn how to build today with Scott Miller. And we're going to start building and labeling our house items in Espanol. So your job over Christmas holidays is you're going to have your own house. And you are going to furnish and decorate your house. And then you're going to learn also how to label everything. So you're going to be learning all about what house objects are called. So what's a table called? What's a window called? And you're going to learn and also learn as you build in your house. And then guess what? In January, we're going to do tours of our houses and we're going to go inside each other's houses. It's going to be really fun to see. So we learned a little bit of Feliz Navidad vocabulario. Merry Christmas. It's a few weeks away now. I'm sure you guys are getting really excited about that. I know I am. So we learned there's going to be some vocabulary here that we learned last time and then some new things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them out, get you guys to repeat it wherever you are, but not on microphone, just out loud at your house. And then I'm going to call on one student per vocabulary word to try and say it out loud to the class after you've practiced with me. Okay? So the first one for Jesus is Jesus. Jesus. So go ahead and say that out loud twice. Jesus. Can I get Colton to say Jesus out loud?
Jesus.
Jesus. Excelente. And we definitely pronounce the S's a lot in Spanish. Jesus. So there's no mistake there. Awesome job, Colton. Gracias. So we learned Christmas tree is árbol de Navidad. So go ahead and say that out loud. Árbol de Navidad. Can I get Logan to say what a Christmas tree in Spanish is, por favor?
Árbol de Navidad.
Sí, árbol de Navidad. Excelente. And then star is estrella. Can I get Brianna to say estrella, por favor?
Estrella.
Estrella. Excelente. Lights is luces. Luces. Go ahead and say that out loud. Luces. Can I get Callie to say what lights are in Spanish, por favor?
Luces.
Luces. Awesome job. Gran trabajo. Decorations. Decoraciones. A little bit more trickier. Look at the word and see how we're pronouncing every single letter. Decoraciones. So go ahead and say that out loud 2 times. Decoraciones. And it's okay to go slowly. Can I get Faith to say decoraciones out loud, por favor?
Decoraciones.
Good try. Do you want to try one more time?
How do you say it again?
No problem. Decoraciones. Good work. It's a tricky one. It's a big word. So keep practicing that one, boys and girls, and you're going to get it in no time. And remember how we pronounce all of the letters. So knowing your alphabet is going to help. Decoraciones. Excelente. And gifts es regalos. Can I get Wyatt to say regalos, por favor?
Regalos.
Excelente. And then something that we love in the Christmas time and we can play and make snowmans in it es nieve. So that's snow in Spanish. Can I get Zeke to say snow in Spanish, por favor?
Nieve.
Nieve. Awesome. And Wyatt, snowman, would you please say hombre de nieve in Spanish?
Hombre de nieve.
De nieve. See how it's N-I-E-V-E? And we pronounce each vowel. We say nieve, nieve. And then Isabella, we have guirnalda, and which is wreath. Would you please say guirnalda?
Guirnalda.
Awesome. And then nativity is natividad. Boys and girls say natividad out loud twice. Natividad. Okay, awesome job. So las casas, the houses. Let's get to the house vocabulary because you're going to be using this exact vocabulary and maybe even more if you want to do a little extra or find or furnish your house in special ways that aren't on the list. But this is something that you're going to want to use too. So let's just go over, because we have not too much time here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call on a couple of you to maybe say 1 or 2 things throughout this, but we're going to do a lot of oral practice just out loud in our house without the mics. Oh, did I, Wyatt? Oopsies. That's okay. You got extra practice then, right? So, yeah, that's right. I find with most things, the more practice we have, the better we become. think that's just the way humans work. So the more we say it, the better we'll learn it. Las casas. So the door is la puerta. La puerta. So look at the word and see how we pronounce it. Puerta. Puerta. So the U and the E actually make a we sound in a way. La puerta. Go ahead and say that out. I want you to say it out 3 times. La puerta. Nice work. La puerta. And then for a kitchen is called la cocina. Boys and girls, please say that out loud. Repite after me. La cocina. La cocina. Awesome. Actually, it's a good idea to write it out in the chat box too. Thanks, Wyatt. So let's do the living room. You can do la sala. So say it out loud. La sala. Or la sala de estar. So those are 2 ways that you can say living room. So boys and girls, type out either la sala or la sala de estar for living room. La sala or la sala de estar. See, and make sure you're saying it out loud too. So say it a couple times. La sala or la sala de estar. Excelente. The bathroom, you may have heard this if you visited Mexico. It's a great thing to know. Where is the bathroom? El baño. El baño. So let's go ahead and say el baño out loud. Or you can say cuarto de baño. Cuarto de baño. So room of the bath. So choose one, boys and girls, to write out in the chat box. So you can do el baño or cuarto de baño. Nice, Faith. She picks el baño. El baño. So we know that there's a little bit of an ñ. There's an ñ on the N, but did you learn it in Paraguay? Excelente. Yeah, so it's a good word to know. You need to know where the bathroom is when you're visiting places. Zeke has the ñ on his N. Excelente. And then the bedroom es el dormitorio. So go ahead and say it out loud 3 times. El dormitorio. Gran trabajo. So el dormitorio, you can go ahead and type it out. El dormitorio. Yes, you would need to know to go to the bathroom in Mexico. El dormitorio. Awesome. The office is la oficina. Boys and girls, say it out loud twice, please. La oficina. And then please type it out as well. Oficina. That's the office. So I see 1 la oficina from, 2 off la oficina. Good. Muy bien. So the bed or a bed is una cama. Go ahead and speak it out loud, and then you're going to want to type it out loud or type it in the chat box as well. Gracias. Una cama, that's a bed. So remember, we got to pay close attention to our articles at the front of the word, knowing that if it's a feminine word, meaning if there's an A at the end, we know that it's going to be having an A at the end of the article as well. So una cama. Awesome job. And then a chair es, which you're sitting in right now most likely, es una silla. Silla. So go ahead and say una silla twice out loud, boys and girls. And then you're going to want to, of course, type it in the chat box as well. I think it's great practice to be able to type the words. Una silla, gran trabajo, gracias. Una silla. And then a sofa es un sillón. See how the two L's always make a y sound? That's important. Un sillón or un sofa. So go ahead and say them both out loud. And then Faith is way ahead of the game. She's typed in un sofa, so you can choose one to type in the chat box. Nice work. It's 2 o'clock, so I'm going to rush through these, but let's do more oral practice this time. A table, which is what my computadora, or my computer, is sitting on right now, es una mesa. Boys and girls, say una mesa out loud twice. And then a toilet es un baño. Un baño. Go ahead and say that out loud. So baño could mean toilet or bathroom. So you can say, ¿Dónde es el baño? ¿Dónde es el baño? Means, where is the bathroom? ¿Dónde es el baño? I'll type it in the chat box there. Un baño. See, it's a masculine word. Okay, and then fregadero. Fregadero. Un fregadero is a sink. So where you wash your hands. Where am I going to wash my hands? Un fregadero. The sink. So go ahead and say un fregadero. A refrigerator can be called two things, which we do in English, because we call it a fridge sometimes, and then we also call it a refrigerator, don't we? Un refrigerador. Un refrigerador. Or una nevera. So you can go ahead and say those out loud. Un refrigerador. Say it again. Un refrigerador. Or una nevera. I like the sound of nevera. A shelf. Un estante. Say un estante twice out loud. Un estante. Nice, Faith. Good job. Awesome job, boys and girls. And look at television. It's spelled exactly the same, except it has a little symbol on the top of the O. Una televisión. Not vision, like in English, but visión. Visión. So go ahead and say una televisión out loud twice, boys and girls. Awesome, gran trabajo. And then a computer, which is like actually one of my favorite Spanish words. It's so much fun to say. Una computadora. So go ahead and say una computadora out loud twice. Good. Una computadora. Excellent job. The window, la ventana. Go ahead and say that out loud twice, boys and girls. La ventana. Nice work. La ventana. And then we have a few more. The book is el libro. El libro. And I'd love to hear Brianna say el libro. Can you say that out loud for us? Brianna?
El libro.
Sí. You want to try it too? Absolutely, Wyatt. Go ahead and say it out loud.
Un libro.
Un libro, sí. Isabella, will you please say un libro as well?
Un libro.
Sí, excelente. And then a bath, which is something that I really wish I had in my house because they're amazing. Una bañera. Una bañera. Boys and girls, say that out loud twice, please. Una bañera. And then a shower. Una duche. Una duche. Please say that out loud twice. Una duche. Good. Awesome job. All right, so those are some vocabulary words that you're going to use when you label and decorate your house. So I have those in your class notes, which are coming into your homework. Now, a couple more things will be about 2 more minutes, and then Mr. Miller will join us and we will learn how to build and what our fun project is going to be. So for your homework, after Mr. Miller gives us a little lesson on how to build, you're actually going to start furnishing, decorating, and labeling your house. And you can start doing that most likely after today. We'll see how much time we have. So you'll work on this over all your Christmas holidays. And your goal is to give 15 items and to have 15 items labeled in your house. And then in January, like I had mentioned before, we're each going to give tours of each other's houses, and we're going to see what you guys have done and how you have decorated it uniquely and just how you want it. So it's going to be really fun. That's what you can start doing. And you have lots of time, but I do hope that you are working on it a little bit every week until January. I think that's the wisest choice, because then you won't feel too overloaded when we're going to do our tours. You'll feel ready to go. Number 2, for homework, you're going to practice your Christmas and your house vocabulary. Now, Quizlet and Duolingo can help you with this. If you want to go on Quizlet and Duolingo, you can find all the vocabulary that you need. And make sure you use the audio features to listen to how it's said, because that's very helpful. And then you can speak it out loud. And remember, oral language is very important, so being able to speak it out loud as well as write it. So that's where you're going to get some really good practice with that vocabulary. And then last but not least, next week is our last day of term 1. It's been so great working with you, and time flies when you have fun. It's really true. So for this week, or for next week, I want you to dress in rojo y verde. Can you write in English what rojo y verde? What are those? Sí. Sí, Brianna, yes. So red and green. Rojo y verde. So you're going to change your avatar to wear red and green clothing, and then I hope we have time for a little bit of a celebration as well for our last day. So that's going to be nice. Any preguntas? Any questions before we give the stage to Mr. Miller? Any questions? Okay, so Faith, if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask on.
Aren't we gonna we're going to say our poster and we're going to go look at our cloud boards?
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot to let you guys read out your Christmas traditions. We're not going to have time for either of those, unfortunately, today, but we're going to do them next week. We have to do them next week because it's our last day. So we'll spend some time. Thanks, guys, for being so patient with that. Next week, we'll make time for our reading out our Christmas traditions and our cloud boards. I really want to get to that, but we're going to learn how to build for the rest of the class. So that's going to be good for today. Okay? Any other questions? Colton, do you have one?
When is our next Spanish class after the last one?
I believe it's January 5th or the 9th. I sent you all an email as well as your parents that gave an outline of what each Spanish class is going to be for next term.
Okay.
So you can check that email or ask your parents, and maybe it will be a good idea to print that email out because it has all the dates where our Spanish is. Does that help answer your question, Colton?
See.
All right. I'd love to say a prayer. Would anyone like to volunteer? And then we can give the stage to Mr. Miller for our building lesson. Is there any volunteers? Oh, great, Faith. Thank you. So if everyone could just pause what they're doing and close their eyes and bow their heads, and we'll let Faith pray. Gracias.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this day, and please help us to be all safe today, and help us to learn lots of Spanish and be comfortable saying Spanish, and help us to do help us to do a good job on our houses and just protect every one of us. And Jesus' name, amen.
Gracias, Faith. And if you agree with Faith's prayer, please type Amen in the chat box. Muchas gracias. All right. So, are you there, Mr. Miller?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we are ready to do a building lesson with you.
Okay. Well, the first thing we should do, and actually it's something you should do anytime when you're in class, when we switch over to 3DU, we should all turn off our video in Zoom.
Oh.
And the reason why is because all of that streaming live video coming in from all your channels, including Mr. Donovan, is taking up too much of your internet space, because when you come into 3DU, that's another high graphics live streaming stream, and you're just adding all that video on top of it, and it really causes a lot of lag. So if everyone would go over and mute or stop their video,
Okay,
use the little button down at the bottom there.
That's good advice. Let's go ahead and do that, boys and girls. I've just turned off mine as well.
Okay, that's cool. Another thing I just want to tell everybody, the lots in HC French that you'll be choosing from, they already have houses on them. And the reason why we have a house there already is because we want it to be, the look to be consistent, like a, like a suburb of a city. And you have a choice of 8 different houses, although they kind of look the same. There's actually 4 different types that have a balcony, and then there's 4 different types that have the recessed foyer when you walk in. And the 4 that don't have a balcony, they don't have a balcony, but they have an extra room. It's a tiled bathroom upstairs. So either house you choose really has an advantage. They all have the same amount of building space and all that. So we can't really change them or have you build your own house, because it wouldn't look consistent, and basically because it's much easier and it doesn't take nearly as long for you guys to work on them. So
nice. And just to clarify, Scott, where houses, I think our houses were on the outskirts of Mundo Mañana, or was it French World?
Oh, did I say French?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Spanish World.
Okay, good.
I'm in the wrong place. I'm sitting here in Spanish World. Let me go, French World. Let me go to Spanish World here. Let's see, Spanish. No wonder I didn't see anybody walking around there. I think I'll go ahead. Actually, in Spanish World, we've got one other type of house we can use too. I'm going to go there now. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Yeah, so we've got those 8 different types of 2-story houses, but we also have another house that I added for Spanish because it's an adobe style house, the kind of houses you see in southwestern United States and on down into Mexico. Neat houses. They're only single story. However, they have the same amount of room as the 2-story houses. So nobody's really getting, shorted if you decide to use one of those.
Oh, that sounds great.
So I wanted to put that up front. No, you can't really change your houses or have me take it out and have you build your own. We need you to just keep the ones that are there and just choose one that you like, and then claim it. And we'll talk about how to claim it too. So
nice. Okay.
I just hang
my
on.
3DU's frozen.
Oh, is this Colton speaking?
Yeah.
Oh, might be good to shut it down in that case and restart if it has frozen on you. Is that correct, Mr. Miller?
Well, if you can't do anything at all, if you can't even teleport away, yeah, close it and try starting it up again. And make sure that you reduce down Zoom so Zoom isn't actually up. I mean, it's running, but just, reduce it so you don't see it up on your screen.
Okay.
So oh, okay, that's right. I gotta go to we have a little mini building school in Spanish World. If you look in the right side web window, you remember seeing all of those numbered teleport clicks. Number 25 is the HC Spanish Building School, and that's where I am right now.
So we'll come join you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boys and girls, so remember how to get the web window up there on the right-hand side by clicking the globe or show and then web. And you can go ahead and find for 25 for the building school. Get there.
Yeah. Now, this lesson is only for students who have never built, never tried building, don't know how to start. The students here who have already tried building know how to build, because I'm not going to really teach anything other than how to duplicate an object, move it, and change it. So if you already know how to do that, go ahead and spread out along the street or on the outer edge of Spanish World and find a vacant lot, one that has no sign, just a house, nothing else. And if you like, if that's the one you want, put a sign out in front, sign one, and put your name in it. Oh, people are arriving. I see people coming in here.
Faith, you're going to go open the web window on the right-hand side. Remember how we get to that? And then you're going to go and find the list of all the things. And in number 25, you're going to click on number 25, which is the Spanish Building School. And we're going to meet there.
Yep. Or you can join me, or you can join Zeke's here, Brianna's here, Wyatt's here. If you got them in your contacts, you can join them. If you don't have me in your contacts, go ahead and click my avatar.
That's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that.
I'm the guy in black who looks like Neo from the Matrix. And right-click me and add me to contacts. That way you can leave me a message if you ever have a question about building and that kind of stuff, because you will. You'll have all kinds of questions. I get them constantly, so believe me, you'll have questions. Yeah, nice to meet you too, Wyatt. So this is okay. I don't remember. I guess I'm going to assume that these are all the people who want to learn how to build, and everybody else who's not here already knows, and you're out looking for a house. Is that true, or have you just not made it here yet?
So there should be 9 of us. Uno, dos, tres,
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was thinking since I told them it was only for beginners, maybe the ones that aren't here are already looking for a house. Maybe that's fine if you don't need to learn how to build.
So I think a lot of my students don't know how to build a house, so everybody should be here. Okay. Isabella, where are you, dear? And then Logan.
Yeah, Miss Donovan is here, so you can join her if you'd like.
Are you in a different world or something? Because I'm at my house, but...
Okay, you have a house already?
Yeah, I saved it to my teleports.
Okay.
Okay, do you think we should all meet here first, though, in the building school, Mr. Miller?
Well, yeah. If you've chosen a house, that's fine. But if you want to learn how to start building, then join us over here at the school.
Yeah, let's get everybody to come to the school first, because I'm not sure if anybody knows how to build yet, so it'll be a good idea. So Colton, you can come back on over here, and if you want to join us, find contacts in your tab bar, and then you can join any of us that are here. I know I'm here, Zeke's here, okay. Faith's here. Okay, and then Isabella, and where are you? Come to the building school as well.
Are you like in the classroom or something?
No, we're at the building school, and you need to join one of us, Mrs. Donovan or me.
Can you send me an invitation or something?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Does anybody else need an invitation to join us here at the building school in French and Spanish?
Okay, so Logan and Isabella still need to come back to building school.
Here's Logan.
Logan and Isabella, where are you?
My 3D isn't working.
Oh, it froze again too, hey?
Yeah.
Who's this? Is this Isabella?
Yeah.
Well, if you can't do anything at all in 3DU, I can only tell you to close it and try logging in again. Make sure that your Zoom screen is reduced down so you don't see it. You don't want to close it, but you want to reduce it down so you don't see it on your screen, so you only see 3DU. Because that helps too.
Miss Donovan, do you think you could invite me in?
I can try that, Isabella.
Thank you.
Okay, I just sent it, so see if you're able to join us. And Mr. Mill, do you think it's a good idea for us to save a teleport to this building school?
If you want to, but there is a link to it in your right side web window.
Yes, that's right.
Number 25 too. So yeah, if you want to save a place here, that's a good idea. If you want to come back, actually, you'll probably want to come back here when you start working on your house, because in the back of this building, you see where all these doors are? I've got my red laser on now. See where all these doors are?
Mm-hmm.
These doors are custom made to fit certain ones of those houses. The houses that we've got out there are called LODM 1R through 8R. And the first four, you'll have to right click your house to see which one you got. These are the ones for the houses with the balcony upstairs.
Okay.
This is the French door for the upstairs balcony. There's two of them, and then this is your front door, and you can also use it as your interior doors. And that's for if you have LODM 1 through 4, 1R through 4R. And you can just right click your house and you can look at the model name to figure it out. And then the other four that don't have balconies, LODM 5R through LODM 8R, this is the front door that fits that house, those houses. And then this one over here by itself with the bull on it, this is the one for the Adobe houses. And you got to make sure that you when you copy this, you'll also want to copy the action that's in it, so it'll open properly and stuff. But this is the one for the new Adobe house.
Alrighty.
So it's a good idea to really come here. So you're going to want to come back and find your door later. So
yeah, and you can right click on your house, and then the box that comes up will tell you what model it is for those little words that we have, LADOM 3R and those kinds of words.
Miss Donovan?
Yeah.
Did you already invite me in?
I did. Are you still frozen?
It unfroze, but I didn't see the invite.
Okay, I just sent a second one as well.
just click accept when you see the little gray thing pop up there.
I found it. Thank you.
I'm not sure which one is your house, Colton, but when you get back to your house, when you right click it later, you'll be able to see what model it is and then match the door with the models that are listed there, and you'll know.
Yeah, no, nobody has a house. You have to go out and claim it. So if you have not gone out and claimed a house and put a sign in front of it and save the port, then you'll have to look for one after this lesson. So come on in the building now, and I'm going to show you real quick. It's real simple. It's just a few steps on how to duplicate an object so you've got your own object and how to move it and change it. And that's really all I'm going to teach. So come on up here where I've got these step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all these signs up here. And I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to just do it once quickly. But the instructions I'm going to give you are on these pictures. If you go to step 1, the yellow text on there tells you exactly what to do. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. It's really not that many individual steps. It's just different views of what to do. So I'm going to quickly show my desktop in Zoom, because that's really the best way to show you guys. So hang on real quick while I find, oh, here it is, share screen. Here we go. Now I'm sharing my screen. I can see all you guys here in front of me. Now watch my mouse. I'm just going to start building. I'm going to right click one of these water cooler objects. Hang on, my internet connection is unstable. Okay, so take your mouse and do a right click on it. And you see how it puts yellow lines, and that tells you that you've got that object selected. And here's the box that pops up. Now you can take your mouse and do a left click and hold on the top of this box and move it out of your way around. Just don't drop it on one of these blue things in the middle or on the bottom. Just drop it in the middle here somewhere. So I've right clicked on this object, and here's the box that we use to do building with. And what I want to do first is make a copy of it, duplicate it. So this button right here, it is the third button along the top from the left. It says duplicate. You see how it pops up and says duplicate? So I'm going to click it just once. Boink. I just clicked it. And now you see that those lines moved a little bit because it's now around my copy that's behind this. So I'm just going to use this button here. It says move forward, just 2 buttons over. I'm going to click it a couple times just so my copy comes out so I can see it. Now I'm just going to close this box first. This is just the first step. And now I've got a copy right here. So all you have to do is right click one of these water coolers and click that duplicate button, second from the left along the top, once. Just do it once, and then click that move forward button a few times. And I'm going to do it again just to show you. You move it a few times, and then there's your copy. Now, of course, you probably aren't going to want to start with a water cooler. You're probably going to want to start with putting a sign on your lot so you can put your name in it. So I'm going to change. I happen to know what the model name is for those signs. They're called Sign 1. And I'm just going to highlight the water cooler name, and I'm going to type in Sign 1. No space between sign and 1. And then I'm going to close that box. And as you can see now, my water cooler, it's not a water cooler anymore. It's a sign. Ta-da! Now, that's your first duplicate, your first object you duplicate. Now, to make a sign work, you have to type 2 words in the action box called create sign. And you can look around if you forget what to put in, and there's working signs everywhere in here. Just right click one of them and see what they put in the action box. But you put create sign in sign 1, and then in the description box, you put in what you want the sign to say. And I just typed hi. And now I'm going to close it. Now you see that the sign says hi. So just to quickly right click on a water cooler object, click the duplicate button, third from the left along there once, and then 2 more over, click it forward. See, I'm just clicking it, and it's moving at a 1/2 meter. And then you can try using all these other buttons. This is left and right. Let's move it left. Let's move it up. Let's move it down. And these 6, rotate it. See that? I'm tilting it. And you can rotate it around like that. If it gets all messed up and you say, I want it straightened out, here's the button to straighten out. It says reset rotation. And I click that once and it straightens it all out. And then up here, change this to a sign 1. Now, there's a reason why I told you to use a sign 1, because that's the first thing you have to do to when you claim your lot is there are these fence objects on each side of your lot. You can just right click one of the fence objects and duplicate it and move it out into your grass and change it to assigned 1. I'm going to stop sharing now. That way you can see your own screen and give it a try. I'll get my stuff out of the way here.
All right, Logan, you've made a good sign.
Yep. So just right click one of those water coolers. Then the third button along the top is duplicate, and just click that once. You only have to click it once. You don't want a whole bunch of copies laying around here. And then just use the move forward button and click it a few times and move your water cooler out into the floor. Then you can close the box and look at your water cooler and say, my water cooler. And then right click it again and delete the BS -W cool and make that say sign 1. And that's how we actually bring objects to our lots. You're not actually grabbing the object itself and bringing it with you to your lot. All you have to do when you see something you want to use is right click it and highlight and copy its model name. Let's say you see a cool looking tree on somebody else's lot. You say, that's a cool tree. I want to use that too. Just right click the tree and highlight its name and copy that. And then you go to your lot, duplicate something, and then paste that new name into the model. So you're actually just carrying the name of the object to your lot. You're not taking the object itself. You're just copying the name, traveling back to your lot, duplicate a bush or something outside or inside, and just paste that new name over the old model name, and your duplicate will change into the object you want. So it's a lot of words. I did a lot of talking here, but really it's, like I said, it's a really simple process. It's right click and duplicate, change the model name to something else, and there you have it. You got and that's how you build. You build up your build one object at a time. Sounds tedious. It can be, but it's a great hobby, and it's something you can come in here and do day after day, week after week. A lot of fun. Now, make sure though, before we close up class, make sure you find my avatar here and right click me and add me to your contacts. That way you can send me telegrams when you need help with building or anything about 3DU. So make sure you have me on your contacts. And are there any questions about duplicating and moving and changing to another object? I realize we've actually run out of time now, so.
How do you paste it, Callie asked?
How do you paste it? Oh, once you've copied the name, how do you paste? Just highlight the name of the duplicate you made, just like you highlighted to copy the new one. Highlight the name of the duplicate and just right click the highlighted area and choose paste, and it will paste in the new name that you copied. So it's basically copy paste.
Any other questions? What's that, Colton?
And then, okay, yeah, Colton. Which is your house? Is that what you're looking for? Well, this is where now you can't.
While you were sharing your screen, you froze up a little, so I didn't hear everything.
Okay, Colton, I am recording this as well, so if you would like to watch the video, if you feel like you missed something, I'll have it up on in the classroom resource room after this class.
Brianna, can you right click anybody's avatar, or is it just mine you cannot right click? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a right click. Yeah, you have to right click to get the little menu to add to contacts. So.
Okay, so Mr. Miller, now the students are to find a house and claim it by adding a sign. Is that correct?
Right. When you find a house that has no other sign in front and no other objects, which basically it's an empty lot with an empty house, just right click one of the fence objects that are on either side of all of the houses and duplicate that and use the forward and the maybe the right or left buttons to move that copy into your lawn, farther in the middle of your lawn, and then change it to a sign 1. Just change the model name. I think it's G underscore fence something is the name of the fence. Just change that to sign 1 when you move it out into your middle of your lot. And then you've got a sign. Make sure you type create sign in the action box, and then type in your name in the description box, and you've got your lot claimed.
Awesome. So I think everybody's going to have to do that for sure. I asked you guys to find a house and save a teleport. So you'll go back to that house that you chose and put the sign up, and then it'll be yours.
And don't forget, we've got that special street where we've got the Adobe houses. Would you like me to teleport there if you guys want to look at those too?
Sure. For those of you who can stay a little bit longer, absolutely. I think some of you might have to go, but if you can stay, for sure.
Okay, I'm there now. If you guys want to start joining me, I'm in the little suburb, the little Adobe suburb now.
Faith asks, how do you know what home you can pick? If it's not chosen by anyone else, Faith, and that means it doesn't have decor or it's not furnished and it doesn't have a sign and it's empty, that means that it hasn't been chosen yet.
Right, that's right. So if you go by something and there's a sign in the, even if it's just a sign in the lawn, that means somebody's already claimed that one. So I'm moving down the street a little ways because other people have been, in other Spanish classes have been claiming them, but there's still some here that are vacant. I'm pretty sure. Here's one here. If anybody wants a vacant Adobe house, I'm standing in its yard right now.
So Wyatt, can you go to contacts in your tabs on the left side and then find NCAR, which is Mr. Miller, right click on his name and then ask to join.
Okay. There you go, Wyatt. We're standing in the yard of one of the Adobe houses that is vacant and not claimed by anyone. So if you'd like to claim this one, that's fine. There's more too. It's not the only one. There's a few more farther down this way. Oh, this student's going to have to be. The student's going to have to know that you can't. Well, if they want to do that, but they're going to run out of space if they put houses on top of each other. That's not a good idea. I would not recommend that. But here's another vacant Adobe house if anybody wants to come down to this one.
Mr. Miller, I don't have you in my contacts, so how else would I get there?
Okay, I will invite you.
Okay, thanks.
You see it?